Onto your seats, kiddies. It's time for the game where everyone competes for a shot at street stardom, Bingo! And yours truly, DJ Professor K, will bring you the lowdown on this event. Two teams of Rudies are about to race through the streets of Tokyo To to complete their bingo board objectives. For every soul and character they unlock, they'll receive a point. If a team manages to cover an area in graffiti, they'll get a whopping 3 points. But they better watch their backs, because it's first come, first serve around these parts. Only one team can claim each square, and we don't hand out no consolation prizes for second place losers. Ha 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 ha! If a team can work together and mark 5 squares in a row, column, or a diagonal, they'll secure a bingo and be rewarded with a 2-point bonus. Ooh! Oh, and one final thing. Don't forget, this game is all about working together with your teammates. So any tape pickups, stolen locks, and graffiti completions will be synced between team members. Don't try to solo it alone, you jackass. All right, let's hit this joint. It's time for another round of Jet Set Radio Bingo!
Hello and welcome back to another match of bingo. Today we've got another double bill, double the bingo, double the pinball. Our first match today has the team that, according to Urban Dictionary, is prepared to bring the hype. It's Ryomi and Jo Della Riva from Team Hypebeasts. And going up against them today is a team that has been deemed too powerful and needed to be changed. They've only lost 3 games in their entire career, and they're my personal favourite team. It's Hypebeasts and Twinkachu from Team Nyakuza. And in the commentators box today we have the duo that has a friend named Mushroom who's a real fun guy. It's Eclapricious and Nago.
Welcome back to JSRF Bingo, everybody, for another week of, JSRF Bingo. It's me, Aqua. I'm joined by Nago. Hey, Nago.
Hello.
Bringing back the Dream Team commentary duo for the first time this season. And we have a game of bingo to be played, and I need to go and, tell them to do things in the bingo sync room. So why don't you talk us through this board?
Sure. So, yeah, we got the board here. Does not really have a lot of Shibuya-cho. It has the points 100k in the middle, which is going to be quite an important center square, of course. Especially convenient center squares are always very useful. Highway Zero, RDH Graffiti, one fast one, but Highway Zero kind of far away. But Darkseid is the most stacked area. Highway Zero's got some other stuff there as well, so that could be quite a value play. Let's see if there's any weird bingos. There's also Shibuya Cubby as well, actually. It's I don't think I'm really finding a good big bingo, but Hauser is so stacked, and just Darkseid in general is so stacked that I feel like you almost want to go there. But you probably want someone to contest the points 100k Cubby and Shibuya-cho early. Just to make sure that you don't get owned early, because those are so fast that if you don't go for them initially, you will inevitably have to play the timing game later on, and it's so fast that it's almost not worth the risk of potentially getting sniped to it later, so you might as well now.
Yeah, this diagonal with the Shibuya points in the center square is very, very powerful. And it's almost as if someone didn't have time to proofread the board before they...
Whoa. No.
But
what this is...
complete speculation.
No, what this is that we're playing true random boards, bingo was intended. None of this, meme shit. So actually we go for double Shibuya-cho, which... This is crazy, actually. There's 2 going for double Darkseid, or there's double Darkseid and double Shibuya-cho. I think it's fair to go for double Shibuya-cho. It's a bit, it's definitely accepting the fact that you're gonna be late on Darkseid stuff, but it does mean that they get some endpoints. I think it makes sense. I definitely.
Yakuza as well, because it's you're up against Hypebeasts. Ryomi has a tendency to be very fond of early Shibuya squares, and in general, their movement as a team is going to be super, super fast. So contesting Shibuya is probably not worth it. And Hypebeasts kind of make their early play relatively obvious with these two. Like, that diagonal bingo is a threat, but look at how easy it is to deny it if you're in Nyakuza and you're in double Benton. You've got a graffiti on the board there for Highway 0, let's go Twinkachu, and then there's also a bunch of just points all over the place that you can pick up, not only denying the diagonal bingo right off the bat, but also just picking up more points.
Yeah, I think one thing that's always kind of awkward in these, like, in one of these boards where, like, one team gets the first 2 squares early is it does, like, withhold some information for Hypebeasts. Like, they have no idea really what Nyakuza is doing at this current point. Like, they could have sniped one of them. Basically, they're not going to find out what is going on until after Acebats picks up the first Sky Dino square, and then Yayo's going to know that he's being contested. And at some point, Ryo will figure out that he's completely uncontested in Benton, or not Benton, in Kogane, but we'll see. But yeah, Nyakuza is definitely going to be able to try and basically neutralize Yayo's presence in Darkside as much as possible. That's basically the goal.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point about for Hypebeasts for the first 2 minutes of this game, they don't know whether they just sniped Nyakuza to everything or whether they're being contested in another area. And now Acebats locks in under Brontosaurus, which means that Yayo is going to have to change his pathing just a little bit, I think. It might not have been going for it anyway, actually, but there's still other things to pick up in Dino. It's just a matter of now he knows he's contested. And the question for me is, looks like Acebats is working towards tricks and will have the advantage to it because Yayo wasn't setting up the faster unlock. So yeah, the point that you made about Yayo not knowing where his opponents were means that he's in a situation where things are slightly suboptimal for him, right? Like, if he knew that Max was here already, then he could have routed this differently and done some different things. But as it stands, I think Acebats actually might have the advantage to 100 tricks. If he didn't boom, I'm not sure. He slowed down for a moment there. I'm not sure what was going on. But yeah, he should have the advantage of 100 tricks and trade up in this situation. Twinkachu uncontested in Highway 0 will clean this up and they'll lock in the early graffiti. And then, yeah, Ryomi probably figures out he's uncontested now in Kogane, where there are a lot of points, to be fair, but nothing super, super quick.
Yeah, it's not, especially because some of the value squares are like in the deeper areas, like the Kibo stuff. It's going to be a bit awkward. Like, you can't really, it's going to be like very much a long-term thing of being uncontested in Kogane more than like, oh, I've basically won already. Yayo did a good play there, recognizing that he's probably not going to be able to get steal tricks away from Acebats, so he just shows up, picks up points, cuts his losses, leaves, which limits actually the amount of damage that Acebats did being in Sky Dino together with Yayo. But
yeah, Yayo getting something out of this situation certainly feels pretty good, especially because he can leave first, and there's not too much left to clean up on this side of the board that's particularly high priority. You know that Twinkachu is in Highway 0 and will be able to pick up tricks, so that's not worth going for. 99th grind is relatively fast if you're going into Darkside, but not so great if you're leaving. And then there's Tricks, which isn't fantastic, Jazz, which isn't fantastic, and top of Observatory, which isn't fantastic. So we'll see if Yayo bothers to pick any of this up or whether he wants to get back out on other parts of the map.
I'm going to assume that he probably is trying to move towards like either 99th or RDH, because I feel like that's where the points kind of are, because you're already behind because you went for the more aggressive play, and you want to probably want to get RDH so you can threaten the row 3 bingo, so that Acebats is going to have to go into Kibo, which isn't the greatest square to, or like it's not the greatest thing to threaten when you deal with the Kibo Mega Goblin Acebats, but it seems like he's going for 99th, so maybe a Twink is going to go into Kogane, or maybe, I don't know exactly what
it's interesting
plan is.
Because they do threaten this row 3 bingo, but Nyakuza
might be co-op, actually. That's also smart. A little co-op action. I like that.
Yeah, per grind? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but like, the row 3 is certainly a thing that exists for Hypebeasts, but it's not like game-ending if Nyakuza just give that away. They already got the early graffiti. The graffiti bingo is going to hurt, but it's not going to lose them the game, especially since they have bingo opportunities on row 4 and row 5. But it does mean I think someone needs to get into Kogane right now if they want to work towards those bingos of their own, or try and deny Hypebeasts. And as Acebeats will be the one to go into Kogane.
Yeah, I don't even think that, like, obviously it's not too bad to give up the bingo, but honestly, I think, like, all things considering, I think there's a decent chance that they might not be doing the graffiti, especially based on the information that they have right now from, like, stuff that's being marked. Like, obviously, Yayo just marked Shuo right now, which means that at least one of them is not in Kogane. And
you could do the column 5 Hypebeasts.
Yeah, Yomi's actually going for tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough as well. Go for bottom point special and then go for Kibo tricks. Because
the column 5 is better than the row 3 here, I think, because it denies the bingos that Nyakuza would be able to work for, leaving them only really with a potential column 2. But
honestly,
leave RDH graffiti up, which is another way that Nyakuza...
I'm surprised, actually, that Twink is doing Jazz Unlock right now. Because honestly, with the information you have right now, you would know that you could just get a bingo. Like, you could literally just go for Tricks 40 and top of Observatory, and you would just get a row 5 bingo. Jazz is, like, not really that high, like, it's not really that great of a square, but, I mean, fair enough, I guess. Like, you are completely uncontested to it, and potentially pulling Yayo away from basically doing actually anything actually productive, and instead being forced to, like, prevent this row 5 bingo isn't the worst. I would feel that I would personally have played it a bit more aggressive, but fair. I mean, like, Twink is still ahead in Dark Side, so there is still, like, a decent angle.
I mean, Acebeats is into Kibo now, alongside Ryomi. It's gonna be a Kibo showdown.
Also, Yayo is actually Yayo straight up not going to Dark Side. So actually, this bingo might just be, like, pretty much secured, while Acebeats is gonna go for this, like, Kibo race.
There's so many things happening all at once here, because Hypebeast could still get the row 3 with the RDH graffiti and with Ryomi in Kibo. Ryomi doesn't hit the stall launch, and Acebeats absolutely will. So now Acebeats is out ahead. Let's see what he prioritizes, because he could work towards the column 2 for Nyakuza. He could also work towards denying the row 3. The row 3 is looking like a bit of a pipe dream for Hypebeast at this moment, because Ryomi is behind. Yayo should still be able to get the points from the RDH graffiti, but there's still a chance that Nyakuza lock in this bingo. Anything can still happen here.
You know what's crazy? If Acebeats plays this proper, like, well, he also gets column 2. So it might be, like, double bingo. Like, this is, like, I feel like this game has really unraveled for Hypebeasts. Like, I feel like they made the pretty reasonable play of, like, going for those Shibuya squares early, but I think that giving up so much of Dark Side has just absolutely, like, ruined their, like, control of the board.
I don't think they can win this from this position, because now
this is
left Kibo because he was struggling.
It's just pretty much,
which means that's going to be a double bingo. And the RDX graffiti, is that enough? Yayo's leaving. I think they're trying to do the maths here. Or Yayo's going to try to get to top of Observatory.
Oh, I love
Twinkachu's
that move
been in Benton the whole game.
Yeah. I just want to say that garage move by Yayo was ridiculous, though. Like, the perfect shuffle and the kiss, like, that's beautiful. But yeah, like,
maybe if he can, like, move like that for the next minute, he can snipe Twinkachu to this soul. But I don't think this is
still going to be really hard. Like, it's basically going to rely on Twink messing up the climb up, because, like, Yayo's basically behind, like, 15 seconds, if not more. But I mean, it can happen. The problem is still, though, that, like, even if you do snipe top of Observatory, you are still very far behind. Twink does mess up a little jump. It's not good, but, like, you still at least are giving up the
margins right now could make the difference.
Yeah.
But Yayo's not taking the best route here.
Ooh, does Twink get it? Twink does get the jump eventually. Oh, where's Yayo going? Oh, both of them are a little bit lost.
I'm not sure. I think Yayo maybe just hit that death wall by accident.
Yeah.
Ryomu's going to finish a lot of RDH Graffiti right now, and if we map this out, right, the bingo for Nyakuza puts them at 16 points, but it's 16 to win, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have both of these bingo threats, and they only need one of them to win.
Oh, Twink! What are you doing?
No, Twinkachu!
No.
Yayo now ever so slightly ahead, or ever so slightly behind. Not sure what the stream delay situation is here, but
yeah,
down to movement.
Oh, these
denying this bingo.
These climbs are both so bad. They're both so bad. Oh,
Sylvie is watching this right now in complete agony.
Oh,
both of these players would mess up Sylvie Soul like this.
Honestly, watching both of these people climb makes me really happy because I've been messing up the climb in my matches, and it's making me so happy. Like that,
but
I'm not the only buffoon.
Acebat locks in the bingo.
Oh, but here's Twink.
Nyakuza to take the win.
On the way to get the other big. Oh no, not like this. I think Twink got sniped. Oh, that's so tragic.
That's unfortunate. So tragic. Not the double bingo, but nonetheless,
yeah,
a bingo on the column 2. Acebat and Twinkachu take the dub in game 1.
Yeah, very well played. I feel like
solid strategy.
Yeah, I think it's solid, and I think Hypebeasts just not really recognizing like what the strengths of this board were. Like there was just too much. Like there's too much on the board. Like. To just straight up.
At what point do you say that Shibuya was a bait on this board?
I'm not really sure if Shibuya
maybe double Shibuya was not the play for Yayo and Ryomu.
I think it's you either don't run double Shibuya or you do Shibuya and then you have both players going to dark side, but even that is not that great. Like I do think that sending 2 to Shibuya, like pretty much you have to be prioritizing dark side to some extent. Like you can't really be going to Shibuya like that with 2 players and literally giving up all of it. Like to be fair, like it didn't hit them that hard initially because Acebats only got 2 of the 3 squares in Sky Dino. Twink obviously got all of Highway 0. But then afterwards, they also didn't take any of the 99 stuff. Like they didn't really, like there wasn't really much of a opportunity for Yayo to get like any like parting souls at the very end. So he kind of showed up to dark side, picked up Sky Dino points, and that was it. Like he went there for basically nothing, while Nyakuza got like all of it. So there's like, I think. If you want to go Shibuya, I think you have to prioritize more of the stuff that's around it. Like, I think you really need to get like some specific squares, like maybe go Highway 0 and try to contest like Twink to stuff. But regardless, going to dark side is obviously the way more consistent like strategy. It's the way more like lowest risk. Find like the better when you're looking at like risk reward. So I think it was well played by Nyakuza. They played well. I'm sad they didn't get the double bingo, but they played well.
Yeah,
well done.
I mean, it was a really interesting strategic match from both teams, I think, because both teams kind of had a similar idea of setting up like a lot of different bingo threats and then trying to bait their opponents and come out on top. But Nyakuza always had the points advantage off of the start, and that made a lot of the difference in terms of momentum. And yeah, in the end, they managed to ride it all the way to the win because they were just leading for the whole game. And I think the double Benton play, was so good at denying the relatively predictable early double Shibuya play, or early Shibuya play in general from Hypebeasts. Like anything that they could set up with Shibuya was knocked down immediately by Benton, and though they were building their own threats, to deny those threats, it was just Acebats having to get into Kogane, which he did because he had the momentum.
Yeah, I think all overall just well played. I'm very well played, and it's very makes this match very exciting because I think that I think I was expecting Hypebeasts to kind of just like execution their way through this, we're just gonna snipe you to stuff because our movement's better. But they got outbrained on that one.
Yeah, I mean, we did see some pretty good movement from them, but it wasn't enough. And yeah, Ryomi not hitting that stall launch and having to leave Kibo ended up costing them the game. So
alas,
yeah,
Kibo
poisoned
giveth and Kibo taketh away. That's just how it is sometimes, gamers. You go into Kibo, and then you realize that you're in Kibo with an Ace Bats.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know that's not what you wanted. That's just how it is. So the board is done, I think? Yes.
Yep, cleared it out. 18-13. Nyakuza take the dub. And we will move on into the next game.
Yes. Do we
I'm
have
gonna put the new board in.
Fair enough.
I definitely generated this one ahead of time. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get complaints about this one, but it's fine. We're doing it live.
I wish I was playing this board. I don't even know what board it is, but judging from that people would complain about it, I wish I was playing the board. Oh, this has a lot of Shibuya Cho. Oh, man.
I'm sorry, this one was too funny not to use.
This is weird. This is such a weird board that it has Skydino graffiti on it. Like, this creates a really... Oh, this is a weird board. Ooh.
Yeah, I know everyone's going to look at Shibuya and be like, what the hell? But look at Highway Zero, though.
But that's crazy, though. Like, what do you do in this position? Like, obviously,
that's my favorite kind of board.
Like, you have to do a bunch of Shibuya Cho stuff, and then, like, you just kind of, like, have to fight on the outskirts of the whole map. Like,
yeah.
Like,
this board is ridiculous. But like you said, you know, what do you even do? That's what's going through these players' minds at the moment in the planning stage. Will they be blinded by the light of the all Shibuya top left to bottom right?
I mean,
Will
you have to
be the bait this time.
I mean, you need somebody to go Shibuya. I mean, you have to, and honestly, like, I wouldn't even really blame a team if they did like Shibuya and then maybe send somebody Dogen, just because. Not even because you want to get the bingo, but because all of it is in the diagonal, it means that, like, if you get a lot of those squares, it blocks, like, most bingos of your opponents.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the one...
What we learned from Game 1, and something that I learned from watching Ace in particular, 7th Ace, and also Corrin last season, was doing as little work as possible for as much value as possible. How many squares can you pick up, or how few squares can you pick up, and deny the dominant bingo threats on the opponent's team? So look at the value of Dogen here, right? Yeah, you have to commit to a lap to get 2 points in Dogen, but you immediately cut out the chance of a diagonal bingo and the potential column 5, which has the 3 highway 0 squares.
Yeah, no, that's basically what I'm saying. Like I think something that people don't like that you might not know or like might not have thought about if you like if you think about diagonal bingos, like diagonal bingos are unique because diagonal bingos, by getting a diagonal bingo, it literally blocks your opponent from getting any bingo. Like, it literally fills a square in every other possible bingo your opponent could be getting. So you basically want to at least get any of those squares in the diagonal. You literally have to, because if you don't, you literally can't get bingos. And unless you can like get all the graffitis or like that bingo takes so long, it's basically worth at least pursuing it to an extent.
All right, time for some rapid fire play-by-play. Yeah, Top of Bus goes over to Yayo. Now, starting up the graffiti already. Ryomi's going for the tape solves. Ace bats into Hikage. Twinkachu also going for the tape, but Ryomi is slightly ahead and will be able to pick up air. Yayo is working on grind, and they're co-oping that to an extent, so that will go over to the Hypebeasts as well. But Top of Bus did go over to Ace Bats, which is the center square, and that could be the most pivotal moment in this game, actually, given the strength of the bingos and the strength of Shibuya and all that. So Ace Bats then leaving, goes into Hikage, picks up that. Twinkachu gets points ahead of Ryomi, who instead went for tricks, and all things considered, it's 3-3 in the first minute.
I like this approach from Nyakuza. Basically, trying to avoid getting sniped at too much stuff, because that's definitely what you want to like. That's basically what is going on at the start of this game. Is you want to prevent yourself from like they clearly don't want to play too greedy, so instead they want to try and just avoid getting sniped to stuff. They're still going for Shibuya graffiti, which is fair, but it's going to be quite awkward because you know almost for sure that you're getting contested by it or contested to it. But it seems like they are both going to go for co-oping the graffiti, but Hypebeasts is like comically ahead. They're like 10 sprays ahead.
I don't know.
And they have a lot of the sprays that are like far. Yeah, they have some of the like annoying sprays, like the ones in front of tricks and on the ramp, like already sprayed, which means that like there's a lot less. Like they also just have a shorter route in general, on top of the fact that they're just ahead in graffitis.
I think Ace has got the point here that I was thinking of, which is once you get something out of the early game in Shibuya and you're not going to just lose the game straight up in Shibuya, maybe you just leave Shibuya and leave them to it because you know that they're going to live in this part of the map. And you could go to other parts of the map where there are also strong things. You've got the bottom left to top right bingo, which is all Kogane if you're Nyakuza right now, and there's still plenty of options elsewhere. Honestly, the strength of Hypebeast squares right now isn't particularly...
Oh, their routing is really bad. I just realized Hypebeast's routing is really bad. Like, they're actually kind of lost. So Nyakuza's also lost. Both teams are lost.
2 sprays left for Nyakuza, and it's about the same for Hypebeast.
Okay. No,
nobody knows where the sprays are.
Oh, no. I think... I think
they're on the roof
here? They didn't do the roof ones? Oh, yeah, yo.
This is it.
Yep, that's it.
Hold on. Hold on.
They both got lost. No. Okay, so that's a snipe by 1 spray by Hypebeasts. Both teams getting lost. I was very much wondering because I saw how they started the co-op graffitis and I was like, that's not a good route. I don't think that's really. Oh, they don't have a spray.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, we're pausing right now. Yeah, I saw that happen. It looks like Ryomi and Yayu like warped or something at the very end of that route. I'm not sure, someone must have misclicked a button on the multi-page, but right as they were finishing off that route, someone hit the warp, and that meant that
that's crazy.
They didn't actually finish the graffiti.
Oh my god.
So yeah, we're gonna need some referee action here from resident tech wizard 7th Ace, who might actually know what the heck just happened there.
What? They warped? Did they like...
yeah,
What? That doesn't even make sense. I swear that I saw them finish the graffiti, though.
Yeah, I wish we had like an instant replay on that, but basically some multi-shenanigans happened. I don't know what Ace is going to do here. We're going to leave this to Ace to figure out, but that was pretty much locked in by Hypebeasts as it was happening, as I saw it. Sure. So I'm going to say the likelihood is that Hypebeasts are given the square. But of all the times for something silly like that to happen, very crucial moment in the game.
Did Yayo just have like the garage thing, like in the mission, the mission file changing in co-op, like in the multi-link? Like, did he just click it by accident?
I mean, this is something you'll know about, right? Because you were fiddling around with it when you were at that point. There's a way to warp to mission files, right?
Yeah, no, you definitely
something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. Like I'm looking at the replay, and I definitely think that Yayo just like pressed. That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Now you see what? Because it happened as Ryomi was leaving. He left to go to garage, and the warp happened. It basically took Yayo with him. So I don't know. I'm sure Ace is figuring it out. That was crazy. Bit flip solar flare. Yeah, that's what happened. Finally, after all these years of JSRF bingo, someone's Xbox finally exploded.
Finally, freaking Xbox explosions, basically.
But I mean, let's give them time to breathe out and digest the first 6 minutes of this game, or 3 minutes as it was really when the pause was called. Craziness.
Okay.
What's up?
We've determined that I don't think it was a warp from the multi-page, because the default mission is 100, which means they would have been sent either like to the title screen or something. They got something weird. I'm going to straight up just call it a multi-bug or something like that. I'll look into it later. Both teams were actively spraying the last tag, so I can't in good conscience give it to any team. That square becomes unavailable, which means we just need to do a regame.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That's the only reasonable way to go about this.
Fair enough. Sounds
So
good.
we'll make a new board. Thank you, referee. We'll make a new board and we'll get started again for the true game 2 this time.
Yeah.
I was excited for the Highway Zero hunt at the very end of this game, but oh well. Fair enough.
Yeah, honestly, given this board, I was expecting something insane to happen, just not that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen the mission file just change on its own.
All right, so yeah, we'll be making a new board, and we'll be trying that one again. Whew, that was
What's this
crazy.
new board? What do we got? I have to sneeze, but I'm also just gonna look at this board. Those graffitis are not great. It is a lot of Kogane though. I love Kogane. I love my Kogane, but it's kind of a weird board. Also because of the placing of the Shibuya-cho squares, right? They're all on the edge of the board, and they're not really overlapping too much. Besides that weird column 1 thing, which I'm just gonna pretend to not see because I don't think it's a thing you can really go for, but it is technically there on the board.
Yeah.
If you want to go really super aggro, you could go for it, but it's such a weird thing because it's Chuo right canal and then 2 deep dark side squares. But
I think if you're going for Trash Pit early in the game, you run the risk of someone taking Air 6 away from you. And if you go for right canal, that's a lot of time invested in the early stages of the game.
Oh, Ace joins and leaves. Okay, bye Ace. Alright, we got no Ace updates. Fair enough. Oh, we're just going? Okay, yeah. It's definitely, I think that this is definitely a board where I think there's multiple valid opening plays, and I think it just very much depends on you're basically you have to adjust on the fly. What you probably want to do is you probably want to get those Shibuya squares, and then you probably want to send somebody to Kogane to pick up maybe the faster the RDH squares, because those are relatively fast. Writs unlock points quite quick. And then you kind of want to be what is my opponent doing? Is one of them dark side? What are they doing? And then kind of reassess. But you basically want to have somebody going Kogane. You probably want one Shibuya, but you can also do dark side. It kind of depends.
Yeah, I think Benton and Shibuya are kind of coin flip in this situation, right? You take one or the other. You don't really do both. Unless there's a very specific play that you want to go for, but certainly Kogane being the stronger area here. And what's interesting to me is we had a crazy board in that game that didn't happen, right? Which would have been finished in under 10 minutes. This strikes me as a much longer board. We got SDPP graffiti, we got FRZ graffiti, and then though Kogane is stacked, a lot of the stuff on there is relatively slow. You're gonna have to commit the bottom point to get anything out of it.
I'm down for this.
Everyone
I'm down for
into
double
Kogane except for Yayo. Yayo goes to Benton. Interesting. So Shibuya being completely abandoned.
I think this board. I think this kind of makes sense. I think the reason why I was thinking about Shibuya was more that I kind of like making plays sometimes where you're just basically picking up squares with minimal commitment, just so you can, and then you can basically wait for your opponent to mark literally anything. That's kind of how I sometimes look at these boards. But I think it makes sense to just go for double Kogane. As you can see, I think Flink is definitely going for the more conservative approach of going for Writh Unlock, which is slightly slower than RDH points, while Ryomi picks up RDH points. And then probably, is going to leave deeper into Kogane while Ace Bats is already in bottom point. So it's going to be kind of interesting how this is going to work out. Yeah, bottom point is a bit committal. It's not the
of
worst.
all the areas you could go to, it feels weaker. I suppose when your other options are there's a decent amount of stuff in Kibo or FRZ, but I don't know. I feel like maybe you take FRZ over this right now.
Yeah,
the
I think
strength of bottom point isn't overwhelming outside of that row 5.
no, it's not that great. I think like it doesn't really block that much stuff either. I think it's just like maybe a bit of an overly cautious play, but fair enough. Ryomi's already an FRZ, clearly not spraying the graffiti, so I was gonna go for tricks and Tube Soul, which is fair. But unfortunately, Twink is also there, so there is a bit of a chance that Ryomi can only pick up one of the 2 souls, depending on how that shakes out. I know idioms, English
Come on,
idioms.
Yayo. Come on. Lock in, Yayo. As he picks up Trash Pit and is now going for the left.
He has locked in.
Left alley. There we go. He did lock in. So we pick up these defaults in Highway 0, and we did talk about the distance you have to travel to get to these Benton points, right? It's 2 in Highway 0, and then you've got 1 in Sky Dino. 2 in Sky Dino, in fact, and then SDPP Graffiti is very, very long. So right off the break, Benton's not incredible, but Yayo's uncontested, so he can just clear out this area.
Yeah, basically, like, going to Darkside isn't bad. It's just that it basically means that you are accepting the fact that one of your players is literally just going to be there and picking up those Darkside souls. Like, it's probably, you're not going to be contested to it. You'll probably just be able to collect them, like, pretty easy, no big deal. But it's more just, like, they're not really in positions that will lead towards a bingo. Besides that column 1 bingo, but Ace Bats has already left Kogane and is already going for those Shibuya Cho souls. So it's like they're mostly just like anti-bingo squares and just points on the board more than that they are like, like these are so high potential squares. Also, I don't know what Ryomi's been doing, but he didn't pick up tricks, which makes me kind of confused, but he got Tube Soul. So that's cool.
He got Tube Soul, but I don't think he got it quickly, and so Twinkachu was able to pick up tricks in response. And now I think both of them might be working towards a little bit of pre-spraying in FRZ. I saw Ryomi spray a couple of tags. Twinkachu is also spraying tags, but I'm not sure if they're committing.
Sprayed a single tag and half of that large, and is now just leaving, I think? Or is Twink starting?
If you're leaving, right, I mean, those are the best tags to spray because you can just rocket on by them if you come back later. And it's very obvious to your co-op partner that that's already been sprayed, right? We see some co-op situations where people spray random tags in the level that you don't necessarily see when you're just traveling through. But if Ace Bats goes in now, he's going to see the very first sprays are sprayed, and he knows what Twinkachu's done easily.
As the foremost pre-spray maniac, I would like to I would add some slight nuance to this, that I think that honestly, if you're going to pre-spray an area, you need to fully spray it. If you have to go for a full, like if you still have to spray like half of the sprays going up FRZ, it's not really that big of a pre-spray. Like if anything, the ones you want to pre-spray are like fully like insular areas, like the Tape Soul area at FRZ, or maybe like part of the mazes or something. Like I don't really think that really is particularly valuable to pre-spray like what Twink did with like 1 spray or 2 spray. I didn't really see what Ryomi did, but I don't think Ryomi really did that good of a pre-spray either. But
yeah, I suppose. I mean, I like the idea, as you said, and as Ace has said as well. It's like breaking the level down into sections, right, and then covering the sections that are perhaps the hardest to get to. As long as you're doing everything, if you go into like the furthest reaches of FRZ and you spray some of the tags but not all of them, then that would be a problem, right? But if you do all of them, as you said, then yeah, you're just saving time.
Yeah, like basically the point, like basically what I mean is that you need you want to spray things that have like high value that will save a lot of time when you're spraying later. Because like the big thing about pre-spraying is that you're basically using time in the moment, or like that you conveniently are already in the area to then save time later. Like if you're doing a tape soul on FRZ and you spray those tapes, those graffitis, those sprays anyway, you save you save time, and it takes you basically no time to do them. If you're going like basically backwards through the level and like you're just spraying all of it, you're basically just doing the graffiti route. You're just like doing this section early, which doesn't really do much unless like you're like purposely waiting to see your opponent like mark something. Otherwise, you're basically just
back to the game at hand.
Yeah, we are
a slight lead, but there's not really a massive like game-winning angle for Hypebeasts right now. You know, the Nyakuza have done a really good job of just taking a little bit away from every part of the board to nullify bingo threats, so it's just coming down to a points game.
It's very awkward because the part we are in the game now is the point where you're gonna have to start looking at those graffiti squares, and they are slow as hell. So, yeah, like Twink tried to get those Kibo squares, has been sniped to the Kibo squares, and now has to leave again. Maybe go for FRZ graffiti or something. It's very awkward because you're down a bunch of points, and the only way to get back is to at least get one of the graffiti squares, and or you probably need both of them. And well, if you do those, then Hypebeast will just snipe you to it. So you have to kind of just like figure out when you want to time these graffiti squares. And Twink seems to just be going for FRZ right here, right now, which is fair enough. While Hypebeasts is cleaning up these last couple Shibuya-cho squares.
I was curious. I mean, these are too long graffiti routes, right? But neither team has really prioritized graffiti up until this point, and it feels like if you're Hypebeasts, you can get away with it because you have the points advantage. If you're Nyakuza, you've really got to scramble and make sure you don't get sniped. Twinkachu is ahead. Yayo's now into sewers once more. Do Hypebeasts co-op FRZ? They don't quite win the game off of it, but it would be very, very close to one. And I don't think realistically that Nyakuza would be able to pick up everything else on the board during that time.
I definitely think that like co-oping, I think co-oping would have been the play if they were already in FRZ. But I think it's too late now. I think at this point, you probably just want to get the Kogane squares and then go and spray Skyscraper, because that's conceivably like the square that they're not doing. And that's basically like you just get the points and you win.
Yeah, given how slow every other square on the board is, maybe FRZ isn't the play. I think you're right. Because realistically, they need one graffiti and any other
square. Yeah, any square.
But look at every other square on the board. It's cube. That's like a 2.5 minute commitment. Sewers Tricks, which is what Yayo's working on, still takes a lot of time, even if you're super clean.
Come on, get the climb, Yayo. You can do this. I believe in you.
But Ryomi is in FRZ right now. So they might go for the aggressive play of just get Sewers Tricks and FRZ Graffiti and win off of that. It requires Yayo to pick up tricks right about now, which he has no more hard work left to do, so it should be okay. But then get into FRZ, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, Ryomi is spraying all of this stuff at the beginning here, so I don't think they want to co-op it, because if you're co-oping from this situation, as Ryomi is the first in, you're the one who goes ahead to the later parts of the level, and then Yayo can clear up the start of the level when he comes in later. So I don't think they're co-oping this, which means realistically, Twinkachu should get this. Then STPP becomes a priority, I suppose. Technically, Hypebeasts could win with everything else, but with Hypebeasts in Dogen, he'll be able to take tricks away, which will force Hypebeasts into at least one graffiti. And Yayo's having some trouble in sewers right now, which is a rarity.
Honestly, as a sewer rat, I'm disappointed.
Our original sewer rat of bingo.
The realest sewer rat. Yeah, Twink fell down during the graffiti route though, so there's a decent chance that Twink actually is going to get sniped to FRZ graffiti. Like they just started it back up. I think now they're behind like a couple sprays. This is also not really like the most efficient route that they're doing. Also, they're jumping at nothing.
This FRZ graffiti for Ryomi, I mean, could we call it a snipe if it happens? Pretty much.
Where's Ryomi going?
It wins. It wins the game for Hypebeasts if Ryomi locks in.
I'm gonna be real. I don't understand what route either of these people are doing. I'm very confused because it's really ruining my ability to like check up on like their progress. But I guess they're doing the same section now.
I mean,
except one of them
it's
is
gonna come down to mazes.
sprays.
It's gonna come down to mazes. Like
Nah.
whoever's cleaner
Surely.
in mazes wins the route. Surely.
Surely
Even if Ryomi
both
has
of
the
these
slight
play-
tag advantage.
Surely both of these people know how to do the mazes. Oh, okay. Twink's moving really slowly makes me feel like they do not know how to do the mazes. Okay, it's over.
So Yayo is now also into FRZ to clean up, just doing the bottom section here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is still risky though. Like honestly, like as much as obviously now it looks pretty cut and dry. That,
Oh, Bats is into FRZ. All 4 players in FRZ.
from Nyakuza's perspective, obviously this makes sense because they need this graffiti. But like, I think from Hypebeasts' perspective, it's a bit risky because like you can get sniped to this at any moment, and then you're basically on even footing going into SDPP, which just sucks like really fucking bad. But
Looks
they should
like
have it locked in
Hypebeasts could
soon.
lock this in here, yeah.
'Cause I think there's like 2 sprays left, and I think they're both for Yayo.
Looks like it, yeah, just about. This, not only does this win the game for Hypebeasts, this saves the game for Hypebeasts, because if they lost this, suddenly it would be a mad scramble to find points, and they would need SDPP, and they would be basically on even footing to it.
Hold on, Yayo needs to find the final spray. Hold on, this is gonna take a second.
One of
Has he
these
found
is
it?
not a graffiti stop.
Has he found it? Let's see.
There it is.
All right, you got it. All right, there it is. That is GG.
Yeah.
Hypebeasts.
We got a game 3.
That is an unfortunate. That's how it is sometimes in JSRF bingo.
I mean, that was a great game to watch. Very close right up until the end, all things considered, because as I said, you know, Hypebeasts needed that FRZ graffiti to clinch that game. Otherwise, it was pure chaos.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it was desperately needed. I think if they lose that, like, it's gonna be such it's gonna be such chaos because they suddenly need SDPP graffiti. Like 3-point swing just sucks, and also like I don't know. After that Shibuya co-op graffiti fiasco, I feel like it's like anybody can win the skyscraper graffiti war. You know?
Yeah, that was. I'm still thinking about that original board, to be honest. I kind of wanted that one to be played. But yeah, I mean, we're ready for our game 3, the decider between the Nyakuza and the Hypebeasts.
What is this board? More Kogane, 99th, Mikage. Oh, this is
Kind of crazy.
Ooh, I don't know. This is a weird board because you can go dark side and pick up like center of dark, entrance pillar, and then leave. And then there's that column 4 bingo on the board, which can be like kind of sneaky to an extent because it's like not the greatest squares, but there's Shibuya at the start. Kind of in the same position as it was in the original board 2. Like again, weirdly in a corner, but this time it has a really good bingo attached to it that has like Hikage graffiti in it, but like 3 fast squares, Dogen trick, and Hikage graffiti, which is like very.
Yeah, that feels like more of a bait bingo, right? That's one that you set up to make your.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I wouldn't actually do that. Like, I think if you wanted to do anything, you should probably, if you want to go for bingos, I would go for column 4, or like maybe the diagonal could be done as well. But like, there's a lot of weird fast squares on this board that you can pick up. Like, there's RDH Topple Station, there's SDPP Entrance Pillar, 99 Center of Dark, there's the Shibuya stuff, there's the Kage stuff, there is Sewer Center Structure, there's also Kibo Under Tower, which is like deceptively fast. It's kind of a weird board. There's a lot of like small stuff, and then there's the big stuff, 99 to the Kage. We'll see how it goes. Both teams are doing the exact same thing, same openings, Shibuya Cho and Kogane.
Yeah, I
Let's
think that
see.
makes sense.
For sure. I can only assume that this is going to be a Flint goes for points, Ryomi goes for platform. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. No, Ryomi misses the platform jump, and then Twink misses the jump to the
Oopsies.
What is this? why
That's so funny.
I'm actually offended by what I just saw on the screen, because this means that Twink now gets to leave Shibuya Cho first, despite going for the safe play. Oh, they're actually staying. They're staying, trying to go for the tape now, but they still get to leave earlier because they're gonna pick up the cans. They're gonna pick up the tape, and then they're gonna boost dash out.
That is my favorite Shibuya opening I've seen in Bingo in recent memory.
That's so dumb. That is so dumb.
And now, at this point, we have successfully taken all of the fast squares off of the board, which is something I like about this board. This is another a little bit slower one. You got 2 slow graffitis, and then most of the areas are pretty well balanced, and nothing is exceptionally quick here. I mean, entrance pillar is probably the one left on the board that really stands out to me, and then center of dark. That could be a nice combo.
Yeah, you definitely want to do entrance pillar is a nice square, also because it's in a really nice spot. It blocks some kind of weird
Kogane bingo.
Yeah, it's all everything around entrance pillar is Kogane concentrated. So you would probably want to get that. Especially as Ace-Bats is in Kogane currently and kind of picking up squares around the area. Has picked up under tower. It seems to not be willing to pick up the other squares, which, I think that's pretty good. There are a bunch of squares left, but maybe he wants to do Kibo Mega, a maniac, but he's also missing Kibo Baka, so.
It would be a very Ace-Bats move to launch to under tower, Kigo Baka, and then stall launch to the other default.
No,
but he's having an issue with it.
It's sunken cost. He has to, okay, there. Thank you. It's getting me paranoid,
Yeah,
I understand.
I don't hate under tower as as kind of a scouting play though. It's of all the things in Kibo, it's the one thing that's relatively fast if you stall launch to it and Kigo back it out, right? So I think just picking that up as a single point is pretty cool. But now he's committed so much time that he might as well pick up the rest of the stuff in here.
It's also that they're I think the other Kibo squares pretty good. Obviously some of the squares are kind of slow. Or rather, special's kind of slow, but I think that lower platform and upper platform are both pretty decent squares to get because they're fast, and also they're in pretty decent spots. Ace-Bet seems to be going for. Is he going for the? He's going for the greedy play of also picking up special.
Yeah, he's gonna get all 3. He's gonna pick up special, or he's gonna pick up tape, then he's gonna climb, get top, and then get bottom, or get bottom and then get top, and then unlock special on the way to getting upper, and then maybe pick up special, or maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, he's going to get everything here, which that's not an insignificant amount of points at the start of the game. It's going to basically even the score up, though it looks very Hypebeast's favor right now. It's just the nature of these boards where a lot of the stuff is slow, is there's just going to be kind of overflows of points every now and then, but
I think the primary problem, the primary problem if you're looking at this from Nyakuza's perspective is that Twink has basically been jumping around into Kogane and has gone basically nothing for it. So Twink has basically needs to make up for a lot of lost time. Also, Ace-Bats is taking a long time here in Kibo because tried to do a jump and then got kind of lost. I think he just accepted that he was going to get boogied on that one. So Twink has to figure out a way to pick up some stuff in dark side. Honestly, at this point, you could conceivably just start 99th graffiti, just cut your losses and go 99th graffiti. Oh, but Twink's not doing the right route. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
This might become an issue.
I think maybe you. How much information do they have about where Ryomi is right now? When was the last time he marked something? He marked entrance pillar, so I think they can fathom that he's perhaps deeper in Benton right now. So I don't hate starting 99th graffiti right now, just knowing that Ryomi is out there, kind of closer to everything else that's in Benton. But it feels like the best of a lot of bad options for Nyakuza right now, where it's just well, I don't want to go to Shibuya because there's not a whole lot of points there. I don't want to go to Kogane because we don't have control of that area, and Ace-Bats is stuck in Kibo. So I guess I'll go to Benton, but Ryomi's in Benton ahead of me, so the only thing that's available to me is 99th.
The sheer anxiety I'm getting watching Twink try to do 99th graffiti, and now just doing this mad dash through doing random sprays is just destroying me currently. The problem also is
got
like,
so many points.
Like they've just lost so much time from like Ace-Bats getting stuck in Kibo, like Twink kind of trying to get to Kogane and trying to go for the bottom point stuff and getting snipes, and now like getting kind of owned by Cans in 99th. Like that, I don't think they're basically in like the worst spot imaginable almost. Like
yeah, I mean, this came together really quickly for Hypebeasts just because of Ace-Bats being invisible. You know, he's been stuck in Kibo for this entire game, and though, yeah, in the early stages of the game, if you go to Kibo relatively early and you get those 4 points, that feels pretty good, but it's taken Bats so long to get those points, and he's not been able to put down any important pressure elsewhere on the board, which has just left Hypebeasts free to clear house. And like Ryomi's doing 99th Graffiti right now, they can win without it. They could win without a Graffiti. He could go to Highway 0 and SDPP and Dino and win with those 3 points in Benton. So he does not need to be doing this right now.
I mean, like, Hypebeast is about to get this bingo, this Road 2 bingo, so honestly, like, it's basically like GG already at this point, which is very unfortunate. Because like, yeah, Yaro's gonna pick this up, and then it's gonna be a bingo. We're gonna be at 15, and like, the only way that Nyakuza can win now is by getting all of the bingos and all the squares that are left or something. Actually, I don't even know if that's 6. That's enough. That's 1 point. No, wait, my math is terrible. No, my math is right. Yeah, it would be up by 1 point. So like,
so you're saying there's a chance?
Sure. Yes, sure. I'm saying there's a chance. I think it's just unfortunate. Like, it's definitely just like a case of like being less practiced than Hypebeasts in this match. Because I feel like the game plan was good. Like, I feel like they thought it out well, but it's just like they just got kind of owned because like their execution just isn't there, which is just a shame. It's definitely the classic like,
Game 2 was close up until, you know, the FRZ Graffiti pretty much decided that one. But then, Game 3, the Bingo God said it's been too long since we had a complete blowout, so here you go.
I mean, I would say that like the cause of Game 2, the Game 2 loss is basically the same for Game 3. Like, the causes are the same. It's just that like the execution test came earlier in Game 3 than it did in Game 2. It's just unfortunate, you know. It's just how it is. But also, Hypebeast is doing the insane play of going for 99th Graffiti instead of just like co-oping any of the other squares on the board, which is kind of wild. Obviously, they are way ahead because Twink has been struggling, but again, I feel like they don't have the information that Twink's been skill issuing. Because if Twink was like, I think if Twink was doing the optimal Graffiti route, Twink would have been like almost done with Darkside. Like, would almost be done with this entire route, and then you get sniped. And once again, it gets really awkward.
But it wouldn't be a Hypebeasts game if they didn't go for a really aggro co-op Graffiti at some point, right?
You don't have to. You need 1 point. You need 1
They don't have to, but that is like their number one kind of thought process. That's how they play the game. They love Graffiti, and they especially love co-op Graffiti, and it's how they won a lot of games in the past.
Just co-op Chuo Special. Just co-op Chuo Special. It wins you the game. There's no world that like Nyakuza goes for Chuo Special and you just win. Game's over, and you just get to sit. You know what it also is? This saves you time in real life. You know, like the game's over faster, so you can go and do something else with your day. Well, I mean,
they can take a break before they come back to watch Bingo again later.
Yeah,
that's right. We do have another match coming up later today. Let me check the specific timing of it. It is apparently starting in 4 minutes.
Yeah, apparently it's starting in 4 minutes, which is crazy. I will be asleep for that one, but you know, fair enough. That's the game.
There we go. 99th Graffiti is locked in, and Hypebeasts take the dub. 2-1 the win, the reverse sweep technically coming from behind after losing game 1. And that is that. Good stuff. Honestly, it was a good showing from Nyakuza.
For sure. Sure, I think it was definitely a good
coming
good
together. Yeah, coming together at kind of a short notice, and Twinkachu having not played bingo in 6 months or something like that. I think taking a win here was, I think, beyond a lot of people's expectations, and they showed some good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was definitely pleasantly surprised about the competitiveness of this game. I am just sad about the ending. Just sad. That's just how it is.
King of the sewers, bro.
Hello, you're
They're gonna hear my strategy while I'm
They
finishing.
let me in the sewers.
Oh man, there are so many people here.
Yeah, king of these sewers. That's what happened. That's what
GG's.
happened.
That's Sewers Tricks 45, King of the Sewers.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it happen with my own 2 eyes.
Your own
But
2 eyes.
congratulations on the
My own 2
Hypebeasts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah, we had a
Congratulations,
fun
Nyakuza,
first game.
on the game 1 win.
That was literally, we started the game going, hey, you know what would be really stupid if we did? And then it just worked.
I thought it was actually pretty good play. Yeah, it's double
Yeah,
benefit.
you did
I was thinking, like, yeah, with the options, there was no, like, that did feel like the only, like, realistic players if we were both there and we sniped a few souls, and then...
I think it was a good.
Yeah, it was free real estate.
Yeah, you say it's funny. I don't know. I think it was just good play. Just good. Just smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
I don't know
stuff.
what to say.
We're going to kind of keep this one a little shorter because we do have another match coming right up.
Yeah.
So, closing thoughts, anyone?
Once we cut to pinball, I think go set up
the
to
first
taking
game
the
was-
other match.
The first game was 100% a meme on our
fun.
part.
It was a good game. I enjoyed
You let us
watching that
win.
one.
Yeah, thanks for letting us win one, guys.
Yeah. Ready for the Nyakuza.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciated.
Good
Also, what do you
sportsmanship.
guys think of the board for game 2 that didn't actually happen?
Oh, I was so upset that one didn't play out because, like,
I'm
We were so
mad it didn't
excited
play out,
about
but
our-
also,
like
there was
when
ever
that
going to be a
square
board
was-
that broke bingo, it was that board. So
when that graffiti was marked, I like moved away from that square because I was like, I just got to go to the next thing. And then there was like, oh, there's stuff that's happened. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I've been. This is how Nyakuza lost, actually.
yeah, honestly,
Oh,
won
well.
that game 2-0 sweet. Well, anyway, that was chaotic. But thank you
That was
for
bingo.
playing. That sure was bingo.
Are we
got
all
bingo
sparing
coming
Hikage right now?
right up.
I am.
I'm
How many sprays are you?
excited.
Like 12 left.
Undig
You
versus
probably got the
Rollerblades coming right up.
Yep.
Shut us down.
Pinball.
Game mode that has every bingo player wake up in a cold sweat. Pinball Warrior. Hooah! In this mode, we'll have every player race against the clock on the exact same board to see who can claim as many points as possible. Whoever has the most points at the end of the time limit will be able to claim the title of Pinball Warrior Champion. Whatcha! With ties broken by whoever gets their final score fastest. Though if you think it's that easy, you clearly haven't seen pinball before. The Bingo Wizards have crafted a diabolical board designed to test even the most hardened veterans of bingo. In fact, why don't we give them a sneak peek of what we have in store for our players this time? Yo, Ace, break it down for these Rudies.
In this season, the board consists of 5 types of squares, each corresponding to a type of tape soul that can be unlocked and collected. For every tape soul that is picked up, players can mark a corresponding square of their choice. But can bingo players really handle this much freedom?
Buckle up, kiddies. Let's begin another match of Pinball Warrior.
And here we go, Ryumi and Jayo. So, you know, usual stuff. Looks like they're going for a double Shibuya. Or,
That's
you know, they're both going
not a
Shibuya
bad
show.
call.
Well,
Yeah.
multi is available, as you can see.
Really?
Players
That's
opting for
true.
one another.
Yeah, I feel like when I was doing this, I was so overwhelmed that I didn't even like have the capacity to think about co-op strategies.
It's one of those things where, like, I knew it hypothetically be possible, and Yayo, you know, getting a start on the tricks unlock immediately. And I think Ryomi may be going for points.
Oh, interesting. I was assuming that Ryomi was going to grab the tape and then go into another level, but it probably does make sense for him to hang out here just a little bit longer to grab some more stuff.
Yeah. And I think they communicated, from what I remember, they communicated right well, or quite well, I should say, in what they want to do. I mean, Yayo looks like he's getting started on special. Meanwhile, Ryomi, I think was that the air knock there, going into Hikage Street.
Yeah.
Yayo
They're
mops up special.
grabbing a good couple of souls. I mean, we're like a minute and a half in, and they've got 3 squares marked already.
Yeah.
Nice and efficient.
I think there's 2 things I remember. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yayo
scary.
just saved that. I didn't know about that bit. I think 2 things I remember from this team is they noticed basically immediately that special souls were on the diagonal. So obviously they were fully prepared for what that entailed.
Having to do as many specials as possible.
Ooh, looks like Yayo's getting platformed.
As special challenges are prone to doing.
Yeah.
On this
Hopefully
acting up, misbehaving.
Mops.
I wasn't paying enough attention to his whole route, so I have no idea which platform is.
Yayo
causing the
started
problem.
over here, and then went
Yeah,
to
he went
the
back.
3 platforms, like the small ones, and then the big ones. I imagine it's one of the small ones.
Yeah.
Maybe the one with the ramp tends to be the one that I have the most trouble with.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, there
There
it
we
is.
go.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ryomi is, just chilling in Hikage. Got air, got the tricks. So once that special soul's grabbed, that will be a bingo available.
Yeah, I think going for 13 platforms is a good call. Lots of people are kind of afraid of it because of how notoriously unpredictable it is, but if you can get it quickly, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's leaving it for Ryomi to grab.
Which is
He
a
hasn't
good call
taken
because it is multi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is
Really
one of the
taking
teams I
full
was most
advantage.
impressed with in terms of exactly taking advantage of multi.
Yeah. And so Yayo bailing on Shibuya to head into RDH and further Kogane levels.
Meanwhile, Ryomi getting the special soul, I'll imagine.
Yeah, RDH is kind of a tough call here because there are a couple really quick souls, but lots of them require the full level climb, which makes them a little bit more of an investment. I mean, not a huge investment, but still.
Yeah, if you're committing to Kogane on the whole, like you're planning on going to sewers and whatnot, going to the top may not necessarily be a bad play, but
Yeah,
it's
you
all
can
about,
leave pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
It's all about what faster options do you have available elsewhere.
yeah, for sure. Looks like Yayo is grabbing grind and then probably 1 or 2 other things.
Yeah,
Like he's
looks
going
like
for
points.
air or points.
Yeah, there's
Points. Yeah, points is quick. All of the souls that spawn in this lower area are gonna be pretty quick here. Especially because with the quick jump up to the tape, it's not hard to get to.
Yeah. Though it doesn't look like Yayo was interested in doing special whatsoever, which makes sense
Yeah.
given the
The required climb.
Yeah, exactly. Huge commitment. What's Yayo going for now?
Is Ryomi picking up that 13 platform
There
special?
we go, there's that first bingo. So, what is Yayo doing? Tricks?
Air, maybe?
There's no more airs.
Or
on the board,
no.
unless, it's always possible. I do remember 1 or 2 teams kind of realised, oh, there's only the 2 airs, but I think Yayo's just going for grind. Though
He already got grind.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the one that spawns right by the
the
tape.
tricks, I should say.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
The other
Here we've
grind.
Yeah, grind 2.
This is a... Oh, there we go. And seeing it up top, which makes me wonder...
Is he gonna go for it?
For it? I mean, I was about to say, with that much time locked, spent on it, it's better to get it than not. I mean, Ryomi.
And so if he's going for it, yeah, it makes sense to grab special so he can get like all the souls up there in one go. Make it worth the time investment. Meanwhile, Ryomi doing some Chuo unlocks. I don't think he's gonna. Doesn't look like he's gonna commit to a full lap, but maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because to me, Chuo special doesn't feel like it's that worth it. Because of just how much time you have to spend doing it. I mean, Ryomi, I assume going for that soul that spawns near Hayashi.
Yeah, if you can get the stuff in the early part of the level without like going for the full lap, it's probably pretty worth it.
Yeah.
Because there are a good number of souls that are just in that immediate spawn area, which seems to be what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, time is running out. I mean, we're getting close to 7 minutes, but if they could average like a special a minute, that's, that would be good. I mean, Yao still has to pick up that one special, so any other special would be an extra bingo, and then a points and a special after that.
That's a second bingo, that one. The special. Sorry. Looks like Ryomi is heading into Dark Side with, 2 minutes left.
Yeah, which, 2.5 minutes left is, a good place to pick up some souls. I mean, I think 99 special is not bad whatsoever. Yayo going
it's easy
into
to get to also.
Bottom point, which is a good place to get point souls. Worth pointing out that bottom point and sewers don't actually have a special soul, they have 2 point souls. So if you needed to grab some extra squares, particularly for those, then that would be the way to go. Well, maybe not sewers. I mean, 150k is 100 meters, the classic, but
Can I call that decidedly not worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, bottom point is another good area where you have a couple really good quick things to pick up if you don't commit to doing all of it.
Yep, I mean, looks like Ryomi is committing to 99 special, which, not bad at all. Jayo making his way through bottom point. Get some extra squares here.
Yeah, these couple of squares are relatively quick. He does have to get out of the level now, but that shouldn't take terribly long. And this is definitely, quicker than any of the other areas that are immediately available to him.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do? FRZ, you got to do a whole trip of that level just to get the tape. Whereas,
doing half bottom point is,
Yeah.
When your other options are
not a problem.
Sewers, climb, stall launch, or climb all of FRZ.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got the special soul, which is marked in an odd location. I'm just looking at that top left 4 squares. Thinking one of those specials definitely seems better than the other, but so it goes. Maybe they're planning on getting one more before the end, but they are running out of time. I don't think that they're going to be able to get another square.
Deciding where to mark things is the unexpected real challenge of this. Because you're trying to move quickly, so you're not really focusing on the board, and it leads to things like that.
Yeah. In bingo, you won't notice your opponent's bingos. In pinball, you won't notice your own. Anyway, that is the time. With 2 bingos and a solid amount of squares, that is not bad whatsoever.
Yeah, nice work. Good co-oping.
And with that, Ryomi and Yayo shoot up to first place with a score of 23 points at 9 minutes and 7 seconds in. Can another team beat the score of 23? Or potentially even get that score faster? Find out next time on Jet Set Radio Future Bingo Pinball Warrior.